Hey, today we're going to be talking about emotional authority for manifestors. This is our last vlog in regards to emotional authority for the different types. We will be doing a vlog where we will talk more about the 7 channels that come from emotional authority. And the purpose of that is that each channel has its own, what we might call, wave of emotion and how it operates with its own slight nuances. And so depending on, obviously, your type, if you have an emotional authority and then the channel that's creating that emotional authority, going to be some slight variances between each of us. So, as we've shared before, manifestors are quite a unique type. If you're not sure what manifestors are in regards to human design, you're welcome to go and watch a bit of vlog, shall I say, that we've done or someone else has done, just to get your sort of, I guess, understanding in and around that. And there's about 9% of the population are manifestors, and most of them are with an emotional authority. So this is quite relevant to a lot of manifestors, not all, but many indeed. And we could probably break the manifesting emotional authority down into 5 steps. So, step 1 is like there's a trigger event or there's a decision point that's occurred. You're in step 1. Step 2 is then asking self if it's actually in alignment. If yes, then you're probably going to move on to step 3. If no, then, maybe there's not a decision that needs to be made. Maybe it's something you don't need to be engaged in. Whatever the trigger event is, maybe it's just some emotion that needs to be worked through. It's not really anything else that you need to make a decision from with that. So, yes, step 3, you're then getting into what we call the emotional wave. So the safest bet would be to ride the whole wave to reach a point of neutrality, make the decision there. Or if you're feeling a bit impatient, which many of us can be, I'm not a manifestor, I'm just saying people can be in general, in particular cultures, you could try and see if what the decision is that you're getting when you're in a high and then when you're in a low, if those two are the same, then you could go with that decision as it's the same as the high, the same as the low, instead of waiting all the way out to the end to neutrality. If they're not the same, then probably best to wait till you've ridden the wave and you're at the place of neutrality with what it is you need to decide on. Step 4, again, is about checking whether it's mind or it's intuition. And obviously there's some nuances and some more that we can get into that, and I will touch on that some more soon. So just stay tuned for another minute or two. And then step 5 is the decision is made, and then you inform those around you and you take action. When you're a manifestor, it's quite important that when you're making major decisions, you are informing those around you because they are going to be affected by it. And if you're not informing others before you take the action, it's, just a reminder, this is not to say, hey, look, I'm taking the action, try and persuade me or try and change my mind. Absolutely not. It's just to say, hey, I'm doing this, or hey, we're doing this, and it's going to happen tomorrow or next week or whatever. And that just helps keep building that trust with the other types that are around you. Because manifestors have great, immense power to initiate things, and it can kind of have ripple effects of shock onto others if others are not kind of pre-warned that it's going to happen. So yes, take your time. When, obviously you're probably not going to want to necessarily engage with the decision-making process, whether you want almond milk or macadamia milk in your cup of tea that day. But you're looking at, do you want to end a relationship? Do you want to start a new business partnership? Do you want to have children? Do you want to move to a new location? These are kind of things that many of us would consider to be quite major life decisions. And so it can be quite important to engage in the emotional authority process for any type that has that, of course. And then that way you can sort of ensure that you are living in your design, you're living more as self and not self. So getting back into, what's intuition, what is mind, when you're hearing the words shoulds with this decision-making process, that's likely the mind that's speaking to you. The intuition is more along the lines of it feels right, but you're not able to explain why you would want to do it or how it needs to be done in that way. It doesn't follow some kind of logic. And that is usually intuition. But hence a little caveat. Obviously, we live in a world, and a lot of us have had some conditionings, whether it be from childhood or continuing on through many aspects of our life, where sometimes we can step into operating from fear. Or, it could be operating from a place of, there's some PTSD, you've got big T or little t trauma that you still haven't quite worked through, or you're still working in. And you need to check yourself as to whether you're operating from those kind of spaces. And then if you recognize you're not, you can easily tap into your intuition and also recognize whether it's the mind that's speaking or it's more of your own internal guidance. Not that the mind's not inside you, but, there's a whole philosophy in that maybe the mind is not fully inside you, but you're collecting information from more of a collective than, a sort of unique way in which you are to live your life. For the collective, of course. Yes. So, yes, projector here sitting on this couch outside. We love to guide. We love to guide any type. I'm the kind of projector that guides projectors, probably the best, more so than many other types. But I also, love to guide manifestors. However, sometimes if manifestors are having a reluctance to work with particular types, whether they're aware that they're another type or not, it can actually be more beneficial for manifestors to be guided by other manifestors, especially if they're feeling kind of an energetic challenge with being guided by other types. When you're guiding manifestors, you have to be very particular about the words that you're using, because they cannot be told what to do, and you have to be ensuring that the words that you're using doesn't sound like that's what you're doing as well, because as a guide, your purpose is to guide them through their own internal authority. You're not imposing your reality or what you should do or la 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 upon them. It's about getting them back into their body and what is it that their body is asking of them. So yes, manifestors are unique type indeed, and I've been currently working with one through my own personal relationships. So that's been really beautiful to practice a lot of that as well, and them having an emotional authority too. So this is a very relevant topic for me at this moment as I'm recording it, for sure. If you've got any questions, welcome to leave in the comment section down below. You can also contact me through various other social media platforms. The links are in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube. And we'll see you again soon.